Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacey, and on this channel I talk about stationery, journaling, planning, all of that fun stuff. So if that's something that you are interested in, then please feel free to stick around and subscribe and have a little chat in the comments amongst yourselves or with me. I always try and get back to you when I can. That's not always the same day, but it's always as soon as I can. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Today I wanted to talk to you about the Miso Paper event and my experience of it. I know that some of you didn't manage to go and were looking forward to kind of more of a vlog style video this week. I will put the very few clips that I got in, I'll intersperse it within the video, but I'm going to be honest guys, turns out I'm not a vlogger. I kind of was just in the moment. I barely even got pictures. I was just in the moment so much that I just forgot to record. I forgot to get any content pretty much. So I apologize for that, but I will give you kind of like a rundown of the day, if that's all right with you, and I'll do a little haul as well. So bear with me, just making sure I've got everything here. I think I have. Yeah, I have just noticed that I don't have my pen attached to this, which is weird. I don't know where that's gone, but anyway, what I'll do is just firstly tell you a little bit about the day. So I got there at 9:45, so I just missed the huge queue that I saw was there. I saw on social media was there, and I was just at the very back of that, so I had probably about six to eight people in front of me, so that was actually really handy. And when I got in, we were given, let me just grab it so you can see while I'm talking. So I was given this bag here, and it had the tin in it, which I'll see if I can grab now while I'm talking. So yeah, it had the tin in it, which had some little goodies inside. So this is the tin here, and inside the tin, so what I did was, as soon as I got there, I just said to the gentleman on the door, like, what's the deal, basically, like, where's everyone going first? And he said that most people were venturing off downstairs to the cafe. So I was like, okay, off I go. So I popped down to the cafe and grabbed a coffee. So the way it worked was, if you bought one of these cups, the Miso Paper cups, then I don't know if it was just free tea and coffee anyway, to be fair. I think it probably was. But I bought one of these for the day. So it was just free tea and coffee, whatever. And I love this. It's actually adorable. It's just, I actually love the colours and all of the design. I think it's really, really pretty. So we'll definitely be using that again. Yeah, so I grabbed a coffee, sat down, and then thought, right, I'm going to have a quick look in here in case there's anything important that I need to know, because we were given a map of the event, which I've put in my little journal. And so in here was this lanyard. Let me get it around the right way. So it was this lanyard here. And then you also had a little name tag to go in it. Again, that's in my little journal. Let me see if I can't remember if I put that in here or not. Ah, here. Yeah, so this was the name tag that we got, and then this was the map. Yeah, so popped down, got a coffee, had a look in here, got that, wrote out my name because it came with a little pen, which again, see, everything's everywhere because I've just been living with it all. So this is the pen, really cute little biro, and then in here was a couple of badges. Let me pop that out of the way. So I've got a couple of badges, which was this one, which is, see if I can show you ish, the Miso Paper Pop-Up Event, Stationery Holics United, and then a little Miso Paper one. And then you also had a I don't know how to say it, is it Gachapon token in here as well. So that was kind of my top tip that I told people afterwards, because I noticed a lot of people didn't have their lanyards on, and some of that was that they chose not to wear it, and that's fine. Others was that they just didn't have a look in here. A few people said, oh, where did you get your thing and why don't I have one? And I said, you know, have you looked in here? And they said no. And I said, you know, you need to check it because you get one of the tokens for free. So then I purchased 3 of the tokens for the machine. It was 3 for £5. So what I ended up with was, these are the empty ones for these. So in these 2 I got these, which were a couple of little badges. So that one says pen to paper, heart to page, and then this one says journaling is my therapy, and they're just gorgeous. They're really, really sweet. And then I got a couple of washi tapes. So this one is like a little newspaper typewritten print thing, which is really sweet. Really like that. Will definitely get use out of that. And then this one, which I thought was actually adorable, and I probably wouldn't have bought this, but I actually think I'm probably going to get a lot of use out of it. So it's really sort of whimsical, and it goes with quite a few of the stickers I have. I don't know how well you can see that on here. So yeah, really was pleased with both of those, and my little pin badges. So that was like a good start. Yeah, then I thought to myself, right, I'm gonna just, I'd seen a sign on the way in that said that the shop wasn't opening till 10. So I was like, okay, I'll pop up there now and have a look. And I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't as big as I thought it was gonna be. But to be honest, I had nothing to measure it against, so I wasn't disappointed. It was just not what I expected, but like I say, I didn't know what to expect, so that was fine. And then it was as I was going up the stairs, which actually brings me to another point. It was very much not, oh, this is all like the candle ash. It was very much not accessible, the building. So the stairs were very narrow and quite steep. It's a very old building. So yeah, the stairs were narrow and steep in many places. There was no lift. The doorway, some of the doorways were very slim. It wasn't like wheelchair accessible or anything. I did see someone on a crutch, like on one crutch, who seemed to be getting about okay, but I didn't actually speak to them about that, so I don't know how well they got on. Yeah, so just, I think if Barbara holds it next year, it would be lovely to make it in a more accessible building, purely because I know so many of us all in the community have disabilities, be it invisible or not, and so I think it would make it a better event to be more accessible. But yeah, so I waited in the queue for what seemed like forever. I think it was like, it ended up being about 45 minutes I think I was in the queue for, because as it turns out it was by the time I got there, it was like a 1 in, 1 out policy. They only had enough space for a certain amount of people within the shop. So that then led to a couple of grumblings from people, but generally everybody was quite well, what's the word? Well mannered, I guess. And when I got to the front, it was front of the queue, it was, like I say, about 1:45, 10 to 11. And then I saw that I could see in, but I couldn't go in. And I saw that all of the Coffee Monsters Co. items were covered up with a sheet and a sign on it saying that they wouldn't be released till 11. So I thought, well, at least by the time I get in there, hopefully that will be released. And I do think that's why it was so slow then. I don't know if it picked up later on when that had been released, but it basically caused this situation where the people who had got in there at 10 were still waiting there at 11, a lot of them, because they wanted to get the Coffee Monsters co-release. And there was also an issue with some of the superior labour stuff, I think. So they were waiting on certain items to be released, which is why we were all in the queue for so long. Because it was, like I say, a 1 in, 1 out. So unless you wanted to go right to the back of the queue, which was huge at that point, to get your Coffee Monsters Co. stuff, it was just, yeah. So then also, the moment arrived and everybody cheered. It was quite a funny moment. And then there was obviously a mad dash to it where some people had waited right near it and things like that. And it did become kind of a free-for-all. However, what I will say is so much love to our community, because people started passing it back, because obviously the queue for it was like, all around it was like 4 people deep at some points, or more. So then we all began kind of like, someone would pass it to me and then I would pass it back, and so we all managed to get what we wanted to get. I was extremely grateful for that, because that part was a tiny bit stressful, just thinking, great, everyone's going to be grabbing loads of stuff and I won't get to see any of it. And you'll see in a minute, I got everything I wanted, so I was pleased with that. Then of course you had the queue to pay, because everybody had been waiting purely for that part. So then there was this huge queue to pay, which again, the team were doing their absolute best. This wasn't the fault of anybody. But it was just like one of those things that turned it into a bit of a kind of, we're all in this together, because we were all just chatting amongst each other in the queue, which, as for someone who was there on her own, was lovely, because I got to speak to so many people while I was there. So yeah, it wasn't, I think it is what you make of it, and I think actually it was fine. It was just one of those moments, I guess. Then after all that, it was also so incredibly hot in there. I also don't cope very well with the heat, so I had my little mini fan, but that was quite stressful, I have to say. The heat, that was the worst part for me. So I popped downstairs, got another coffee and a cold drink, and sat on a table with 2 different people who weren't together. We all ended up chatting for it was at least an hour, talking about stationery and travelling, and it was just such a lovely conversation, and they were such lovely people. So shout out to Maddie and Austin, because you made my whole day. It was such a lovely conversation. And then after that, I was getting text messages and phone calls from my son, who was also in London with my husband, saying, are you done yet? So I said, look, I'm going to go and do all my stamping, and off I go. It was kind of like, I wasn't waiting on any workshops, so it was what it was. So let me show you the stamps first, actually. So I put them all in. I also got some paper copies, but I put them all in this traveller's notebook, which is the half trip craft. So this is a stamp. I've also got it in here as well, but Maddie put it in the front and I thought that was a great idea, so I copied her. So you could tick which days you were there, which is adorable. And then you had like a stamp station at the cafe with the cafe themed stamps. So that was these. I don't know if you can see that green one very well on camera. Try and move it so you can see it. So this is the little Gachapon. I don't know how to say that word. I do apologise. And the cafe one. And then on the first floor you had one that was like where the shop was. So this is the pop-up shop themed stamps. And then on every floor you had one, and then you also had the stamp caravan as well. So some of these worked better than others. I'll just give you a little flip through. I thought that was quite cute. And I was quite impressed actually, because although they sort of come through, they didn't go onto this page, so which I was kind of expecting afterwards. So they didn't bleed all the way through. So yeah, then we have all these. Some of them I did do upside down, which is annoying. Some of these you won't be able to see very well. That one was really light. I think that one was my favourite, the Traveller's Books. Yeah, and this one was like super juicy, so this just bled really, really easily. I think it doesn't help that it was on craft paper. But yeah, like I said, I got a few of each of them because I did it on some spare paper as well. How cute is this Miso Paper one? I thought that was adorable. And then you've got this one for the stamp rally. How cute is that? I'll be honest, I think they're all adorable actually. That's one of my favourites actually, Abby's. It's lovely. And they had two, so they had the little London 2025 Coffee Monsters, and then they also had the bigger version as well. So yeah, and then that was the map. So yeah, I popped around, got all my stamps, and then I left. By that time, all of my joints were hurting and I was absolutely shattered. So let's get on with the haul. So obviously, I'll start here because it's on here. This was free. I got some of these I've already opened. So we'll start with some of these washi tapes, these BGM washi tapes. As you went into the shop, there was like a wall of like pet tape and washi tapes. So I got this one with the swans. So beautiful. I'm often down at the river here where I live, and there's always swans on the river, so that feels very, and it's kind of, the swan is kind of a symbol of Bedford as well, so it's very much relevant. I think I'll get quite a bit of use out of that one. Then we have this one, which is, I don't know what that says, Summer Limited, I think that says. And this one is whales. It's like an underwater. Whales, goldfish, seaweed, and what looks like fireworks, but it's obviously not. But that's gorgeous. I'm really into like underwater scenes and stuff at the moment. This is fish. Again, I've got loads of fish stuff at the minute, but really, really enjoying that. You can see here. I don't know if I showed you that one very well. Might be able to see. So pretty. And then this one, which is completely bizarre. It looks so cute. It's cats at the beach. and we all know how much I love a cat sticker, so that will go with those quite well. Then I also got a couple of these, so I wanted to try and get as many of the Miso Paper specific, like event specific items as possible. So I got this little leather tag, so it's the Superior Labour and Miso Paper one. And I also got this Superior Labour Kurashiki Year of the Snake, just because I thought that was gorgeous. And then I also got, which I've already put on here, this Miso Paper Superior Labour London Meets Japan. I think they called this a money clip, but I'm going to be using it like a paper clip, and probably more just like decoration, if I'm honest. And I think it goes really beautifully with the Love and Trip. Another thing, I have this, I've had this A5 sticker book with the sticker release paper in it, with lots actually of sticker release paper in it for a long time, and I've wanted to try one of these. I don't know what they're calling these. What is this? A ring binder dashboard with elastic. So I wanted to try one of these for ages, and I always like this at my desk version. So you just pop it in as a divider, and then you can use the elastic to keep it shut, which I thought was really handy. So got those. Let me move some of this out the way now. Alright. Oh, I'll do this because it's right here. I got another sticker release paper because, in my opinion, you can't have too many. Got this. Let's grab all this out. Right, so yes, I got this, which is one of the limited edition Superior Labour pouches with the blue base, which actually I thought goes really, really well with My Louise Carmen. I thought that was kind of adorable that it goes so well with that. And I do have quite a few blue things. Red is actually quite a unusual colour for me to have, and I think it just went well with everything really, so I picked that up. And then I'll do the Coffee Monster stuff all together, so let me move that out of the way. I got this pet tape from Abby Sai, which is like a travel theme. I thought that was gorgeous actually, and I've already popped a roll of this, like a length of it, into my Miso Paper book, my sticker release paper, and these are kiss cut as well, which I always appreciate. Although one of my favourite things to do is sit and cut things out, cut them out, I did actually appreciate that. That was quite good. Let me get some of the things that aren't Coffee Monsters, because I'll do all that together. Then I got this Arts and Crafts Journeys London Meets Japan Miso Paper patch. I thought that was gorgeous, and I toyed with the idea of popping it on here, but I think I'm actually going to put it on one of my other ones. These little they're like post-it tabs. I love them. I saw it, I was like yes, immediately yes. No idea what I'm gonna, it says firmly sticky notes. A trois cinq. So maybe that, well that's French, but then it's all in Japanese, so I don't know what brand that is. And we have some more Abby Sai stuff. Again, I wanted to get some of the like collaboration bits. So this is one of the collaboration sticker sheets with Abby Sai. As you can see, I used a couple in my little travel notes bit. And then I got this book, The Adventure Awaits book, which was a bit of a it was in plastic, so it was a bit of a gamble because I haven't seen what's inside it, but I actually love it. I think it's great. Loads of lovely different stickers as well. These aren't like anything I've got from anyone else, really. Maybe those, but that's about it. So, love those. I'm trying to find places to put these. Oh, these are all my stamps that I was telling you about that are all on the paper. So yeah, I did manage to get a few that I can put elsewhere. Let me put those with that. So as you can see, I've used a few of these already. So these are some little swan stickers. These are Mindwave, I think. Yeah. So some little swan stickers. These are gorgeous. The painting stickers where they look painted on. They're Mindwave as well, I think. Yeah. They're gorgeous. So I got both colourways of those. This gorgeous like cherry blossom type theme. And then some Suatelier, I think is how you say it. I've already had these, the vlog trip, which it's kind of ironic for this particular one. And then I got this retro office and obviously Meow, the cats. Freebie wise, I think because I bought some Superior Labour bits and bobs, I got this A4 folder and some stickers, which was adorable, and as you can see I've already used a couple. And then that's just a leaflet that they had, and then I got a couple of the Traveller's Times, which I'm very excited about actually. Then last but not least, my little Coffee Monsters haul. So yeah, I got the Emoti stamps. Is that right? Yeah, Emoti stamps volume 7. Then I got all 3 of the colourways of the sticky notes, and I've already used these. These are adorable. I don't know that they'll all get used right now, but I don't know. I think I'm using them more than I thought I would already. Let me do the washies first before I get to those. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. I got a Superior Labour washi as well, which, oh, can you see? Kind of. But yeah, love that. Used that already. Right, okay. So I got this washi, which is like the, I'm going to say this one's a Halloween one because they're all dressed up in like little Halloween costumes. The London like stamp washies, which is actually a huge amount you get of different ones. So I'm not even there yet. There you go. That's the whole amount of them. They're adorable. Used some of those already. Part of me wishes I got 2 of these. Mostly because we often go down to London, so it's not necessarily, that's why I actually got quite a few different London bits and bobs, because that is actually kind of relevant to my life, that we're often in London, so I can use it for when I have my little trips down there. And then I got this one, which I think is the new one. So that's adorable. Really, really sweet. I love the colours on this one. And then this blue one, which I've already used. And this green one. I just grabbed a couple of each basically. which is like the cozy one, which is very appropriate for me, just to get cozy. And then, last but not least, I feel like I'm forgetting something, and I probably am, but we're just going to go with this for now. So I've got this little folder, which is, I think this is the London theme one as well. It's adorable. I'll start off with these vinyls. So I got this one. Put that to one side. Hop on the Struggle Bus. This one, obviously, I Heart Roasted Bean Water. This one, it was funny actually, because when I got to the till, there was about 6 of these. Some of these are thicker than others, and this one's quite thin in comparison, and so I just picked up what felt like one, and there was loads. But yeah, this one, and then the 2 London ones, which I just love. They're really, really cute. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with those yet. And then on we go to, actually, I just remembered I put some of these I already had, but I've put them all in here now. Let me just take out, yeah. Okay, so I bought 2 of the London sheets. Again, one for now and then one for another weekend or whatever that I spend in London. I got the spring emoji heads, large tulip fields doodles, washi paper, the tote around town, organised desk emotis, the 2025 monthly headers in black, but obviously it's not just for 2025. And then the large Lucky Charms doodles, which I just thought were adorable. And that's it. That is all of my haul. I was thrilled with and am thrilled with everything I got. I had such a lovely day, and although I didn't get to meet Helen because I didn't do the workshop, and to be honest, I didn't want to just hang around and like grab her or whatever when she's on a loo break or something. That just felt rude, so I just left it, and I'm just so grateful. I had such a lovely time. I'm so grateful to Barbara and her team for organising such a wonderful event, and I really hope they do it again next year. From what I could see, it was a huge success. Sorry, I just realised that my camera stopped and I was jabbering to myself for goodness knows how long. What I was trying to say, I think, was that it was a huge success. Obviously, you don't know what goes on in the background, but as far as I could see, it was a huge success for Barbara and her team. They did a great job. Hopefully next year they will do another one, hopefully actually in a more accessible setting, but that's really my only kind of, it's not even a complaint, it's just a note. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little haul. I'm very happy with everything I got, and more than that, I'm just happy with the day. I had such a lovely time and I met so many lovely people. So yeah, that's it guys. I just want to quickly address the fact that this is a day late. It is the half term here, so I do apologise that I'm a day late in posting, but this is, I think by the looks of it, this is just how it's going to go sometimes in the holidays. I have obviously got a child, and I try to entertain him and have other things that I need to do, so I do apologise, and thank you for all of your patience. And yeah, that's it. I hope to see you all again next week for another video, and I'll see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye.